This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Right, thank you, Cinderman, for sending me this article. And I've briefly seen a video by McGregor on this subject as well, so I'm just going to cover it myself as well, where German Cicero, who is the trainer of Luis Ortiz, has almost blanked out and totally ignored everything that his team have said, where it was them that dropped the ball, it was them that pulled out of the fight with Anthony Joshua and priced themselves out and all this kind of thing. And even George Cicero was saying to his own team at the time, when an offer comes through, you take the damn money. Nobody spoke to us about it, all that kind of thing. But now Anthony Joshua has signed up to fight Andy Ruiz and what have you. Of course, his coach is coming out to defend Luis Ortiz by saying that it's actually all Eddie Hearn's fault. Unbelievable. Anyway, this is what German Cicero had to say. There is nothing there. They are talking by themselves. That's Eddie Hearn talking to himself and thinking that Luis is answering him. That's a lie, that we didn't want the fight, that we let it fall through. Yes, it was discussed once and it was said to him to send a contract. Have you seen it? He did not send the contract and he did not intend to send it. He really did not want the fight and I do not blame him. 4 weeks to prepare for a lefty puncher who can box. I would have been better to have said that he did not have enough time to prepare for Ortiz. The best thing would have been to say that we are going to give Ortiz a chance with 10 weeks. But why not? We'll fight him next. The main thing is that they negotiate in good faith and that they really want to fight. If you do not send a contract and sign it, what are we talking about? You can mention 20 million, but without a signed contract, what good is that for me? So that is German Cicero's statement, the trainer of Luis Ortiz. Unbelievable, really. I mean, you wouldn't mind so much, okay? But the fact is that Luis Ortiz's own management team admitted it was them who dropped the ball, okay? It was them. It was them who fell through with the negotiations. And for Cicero to say that Eddie Hearn never sent a contract, we can't send a contract if terms are not agreed. What is the point of this? Okay? You have to pay solicitors to draw up legal binding contracts. This costs money. How much does it cost for these guys? I don't know. Okay, but either way, it's going to cost something. To draw up a contract, send it over, and then for it not to be signed, it's a waste of money. So what you do is you agree on the terms. Once all the terms are agreed, you then put it all down into a document, legally binding, proofread by a solicitor, and then sent off. You then sign it, your own solicitor reads through it, send it back. The fight's on. So what is he talking about? Listen, your own management team said it was the promoter who priced themselves out. And they regret the fact that they did. What's wrong with you people? I mean, is your promoter and your management team still whispering sweet nothings behind closed doors saying, yeah, you know what, we tried to make the fight, but it was Anthony Josh and Eddie Hearn that didn't really want the fight? Everything was shown. Everything was laid out on the table. Eddie Hearn said word for word what happened between the talks. Luis Ortiz's management team said that, yes, we dropped the ball. We priced ourselves out. 7 million was a great offer. We should have accepted it. We dropped the ball. The promotion team got greedy. They said this. It's not Eddie Hearn's fault. They didn't underpay us. They didn't lowball us. We dropped the ball. So either German Cicero is not listening to his own management team and the conversations between him and Eddie Hearn, and he's just listening to what the promoter thing is telling him behind closed doors, because your stories are contradicting. Very, very contradicting. We know that Luis Ortiz did not want the fight. He didn't want it. He never wanted it. Why? Because, as everybody has said, your own team have said this, Wilder's team have said this, and Lou DiBella has said this, that Luis Ortiz is next for Deontay Wilder. So you can talk about fighting Anthony Joshua next, but we know you already have something in place to fight Wilder next. And all you want to do is use Anthony Joshua's name as clout, just like Wilder's been doing for the past 2 years. All you want to do is talk about him, but not fight him. You will be fighting Deontay Wilder next. The only way you will not be fighting Wilder next is if Dominic Brazil beats Wilder. Then maybe just maybe, you'll fight Anthony Joshua. Joshua said, I want the fight. Eddie Hearn put in a $7 million offer. Was that not enough? Your team did not turn around to Eddie Hearn and say, okay, great, we accept it, send the contract. What are you talking about? They were trying to hold out for more money. And then your own management team said, yeah, you know what, we dropped the ball, it's our fault. You can't admit it's all our fault. And then once Joshua signed up with Andy Ruiz, oh yeah, Anthony Joshua didn't want the fight. Complete hogwash. You guys are digging yourselves that hole deeper and deeper every time you guys open your mouth. It's embarrassing now. I mean, Jay Jimenez, your own management team, said, we dropped the ball. So trainer, Cicero, shut up. You guys bottled it. You bottled it. That's all it was. You could have been fighting Joshua on June the 1st. Joshua was willing to fight. A lefty, as you call it, a southpaw. He was willing to do it. How is Joshua not wanting the fight by offering $7 million? How is that not wanting the fight? If your team don't agree to $7 million, what do you want them to do? Pay you $10 million? Pay him $20 million? Pay him $30 million? Your highest payday was $500 grand against Deontay Wilder. For one belt. One belt. And you was undefeated at the time. You've now taken a loss. And Joshua had 3 of the main 4 belts plus the IBO. So technically he's got 4 belts. So really, you should probably get a hell of a lot less than the $500 grand, should you not? But they were trying to make the fight. That's why they offered you $7 million, 14 times more than what you have made as your highest payday. 14 times. You guys dropped the ball. Stop trying to twist it like it's Joshua's fault. Nobody out there in the boxing world, you'll probably not find not one person who genuinely believes, truly in their heart, that it was Eddie Hearn and Joshua who dropped the ball, who didn't want the fight. If anybody says it, they're lying, is what they're doing. They're lying. They know that Luis Ortiz or somebody within that team dropped the ball and they didn't want the fight. Why? Because Al Heyman is probably telling them, don't take the fight. We need you for Deontay Wilder, a rematch that we've already seen. Anyway, article in the description box. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.